stand taller in the ring. Both seem to... Winky right. Now here comes Shane, and there you see
47-40 world champion.
And Shane immediately goes.
He's fighting those big guys like Winky Wright, taking his time, placing his punches, and
now Collazo begins to release his left hand, and he knows and understands everybody's box, telling us exactly what Collazo would do. Well, he throws his right and his left.
Hand speed is very good. He hasn't lost his hand speed, that's for sure. I think he just said.
And you saw Collazo motioning to Kenny.
I hear that Collazo is the one moving forward.
Atmosphere, which I was very doubtful about in the beginning.
Well, remember, Collazo's the one who unofficially put on 30 in the ring. Mosley supposedly only put on 7 pounds overnight and there.
I've always thought that Shane was too small for a welterweight.
Collazo only 3 out of 41, so Collazo was throwing, didn't land cleanly. Now
he's landed anything effective for the most part here.
And there's a straight left fire. Mosley shook his head. Body shot by Collazo. What a hand speed difference for Shane Mosley, looking at a guy like Collazo after fighting Fernando Vargas in the last 2 fights. Vargas is more or less when he lands them. Relaxes. He told us yesterday he wants to be more and more relaxed. Good.
Collazo's a very, very cool fighter. He's taking his time, placing his punches. And both guys, hand speed and upper body speed, head movement, everything.
Athletic fighters.
Cannot make a mistake, neither one of them, without getting hit.
Good, quick left hand again. There's respect already here in round 2. Because he will throw a lot of punches. I mean, there's a round in the Rivera fight in which he threw 141.
Right here you see Collazo. And right here you see him coming back with a left, right and a left coming right behind that again.
Collazo suggests he may be closer to finding an answer.
Winning those rounds without landing a clean punch on Collazo, but just
this is where the relaxation, which he says is greater at this weight. He's not as
but whoever is the busiest guy is going to end up winning the decision in this fight, probably.
Absolute busier guy. And I'm not sure what he means other than you've got 2 front feet, as Larry Merchant said. Very close. It's a big right hook by Collazo. Mosley retaliating with the left.
He's a guy, another made up for just clean, hard punches. But so far this round, I would give the round to Shane. And that's since the beginning of the round. He's been consistent throughout the whole 3 minutes.
And Collazo, we think, 2-1 for Mosley. Harold?
Exactly. Fight. Leaning backwards to get away from Collazo's punches and beat them with hand speed. But to tell you the truth, Dan, and Jim, if he gets bumped with it, don't say I didn't tell you. 2 rounds to 1, Shane Mosley.
I think you're the punch against Shane. I'm thinking that a lot of southpaws, like Winky Wright used, is your right jab. And Collazo is not doing that.
Now he throws the jab and brings the left hand behind it.
Yeah, Winky was very effective with Shane Mosley.
He's been throwing more power punches and more aggressive. Hands go. If he's going to have a chance to beat Shane, he throws a left hand and misses. Goes back to the body and lands a few punches before trying one straight right hand by Shane Mosley. Down the pipe, well thrown. Set up again.
He would finish up with a right jab after that. He'd be very much and his hand speed, not as flashy, but I think his hand speed is still just as good as Shane's is.
He needs to throw more combinations. Needs to be confident enough to throw combinations. Shane blocks him. Shane kind of catches his breath. An accidental headbutt in the hope that it might wake him up. It happened to woke him up and made him start fighting harder. The people in Collazo's corner want him to let his hands go. Now he's got a little blood above his eye.
And he fighter, if he'd have fought him at any stage of his career.
Incidentally, there was a period in his career when he's
not lifting all the weights that he was lifting, trying to be big.
Exactly right. The more you watch fighters who lift as opposed to those who don't, the more you think, don't lift.
Well, he was fighting in a weight division where he really didn't belong, and he was trying to lift weights to stay up to that 150.
Fight without asserting himself enough.
Punch is going to win this fight.
Yeah, but Emmanuel, nobody expects a 35-year-old fighter like Mosley to be able to...
Brilliant fighter. Ever since he was about 8 or 9 years old, he's been a star fighter.
Right along with Oscar De La Hoya. Then was the case at the beginning of the fight between Shane Mosley, still outworking Luis Collazo.
Hard jab by Collazo, not the pulling punch it is. He's waiting on power punches for the most part.
Yeah. width. They're both athletic, but Shane hits harder.
2-to-1 favorite. It's over 2-to-1 that...
He needs to just do that a lot more often. He's proven he can land. Now Shane gets him in a corner. He's a very hard puncher as a lightweight at 135 pounds. His second victory over Oscar De La Hoya, most ringside down the stretch. Right into this round, Shane Mosley still outworking him. Self down 5 rounds to 1 midway through the fight. Fighters in anticipation of their March 17 pay-per-view. Not a single round in which Collazo's landed in double figures. That's the reason he finds himself in a problem. And
Jim, forget which way he circles, forget the encounters with a nice straight right hand. Shane Mosley clearly winning this fight at clean punching. The one thing that drives me crazy about
He's relaxing, but he's very busy. But it's, you know, he's been in so many, you know, he's been through 4 two-fight series that I recall. Hoya, twice in both
as well. Like I said, all-around athlete. Shane Mosley. A guy who wants to compete with you all the time.
Here's the fight.
Well, except when he didn't like the business circumstances, such as $10 million in favor of fighting Winky Wright for 2.5.
I forgot about that one. Good, also.
Well, that's the sportsman in Shane. He knew that nobody else was going to... Incidentally, you know, just as he lost to Forrest and people with his closed eyes between rounds...
Punch also.
Well, sure, because when a fighter is always fought fighters who are not as quick as him, and then he gets in with a fighter who appears to be as quick as him, if not quicker.
Horse head, fast hands. So he's used to that.
Hard right hand by Mosley inside. Another right hand. Luis Collazo seems to be becoming discouraged here in the 8th round. Still that in the second Forrest fight.
Seems to have no more fatigue than Collazo, but the difference is he's an experienced fighter. And
he's only had 13 knockouts and 27 wins. He doesn't have big pops. Mosley's the one with pops. And having taken flush shots with both the right and the left hands, Mosley probably knows now that he can take Collazo's best punch. That's not going to make it any easier.
You would be hard-pressed up to this.
And especially you look at the weight, you would figure that Shane is very tired also, but he's still fighting.
I'll give Collazo this. He's taken some very good...
Trying to find a gap between the gloves and the southpaw position. Instead, he goes a right hand on the outside, which Collazo wasn't expecting.
Seconds out!
Now watch this left hand land flush.
A tremendous left hand by Collazo right there.
Collazo landed 12 out of 50 Mosley.
And what I like, he throw a lot of little petty right hands to the inside, and then he'll change up and throw it to the outside. And he's knocking him out in the second round. Shoot it on the side.
And incidentally, another factor is, let's just suppose for a second that the fight were close. We're in Las Vegas. Might have had to get a knockout to get a draw.
Fighter, he's got to start fighting like that.
Collazo's holding him, and Bayless, as though by reflex, says, hey, you're at the right moment. See the look of disappointment on Luis's.
Now, where is he running? Why is he running? Can you tell me this?
How do you have it through 9?
Look at Jim, 88, constantly landing the better right hands. Luis Collazo just waiting and waiting and waiting. I can't see how the judges could have given him more than 2
punches through 9 rounds by CompuBox count. Collazo's did more than twice as many, 134 to 60. So maybe Collazo rallies down the stretch and wins the last 3. Good run.
What you got here is a hungry old fighter.
Terrorized the lightweight division years ago. Straight right hand by
Shoes going down the stretch, but he's doing straight punches, then punches to the outside, punches to the body, a lot of shoulder attack.
Shane says, I want Oscar 154 pounds and send him back.
Right here you see Shane land a straight right hand right to the inside, turn his head.
And his cornermen have now made it clear that a lot of people are going to get interested now in the theory or the hypothetical question, regardless of what happens in...
He's not demonstrating that devil. And like when he was fighting Fernando, when he realized he could hit him that easy.
Like water, like Sugar Ray Leonard in his prime. He thought he needed it to go up and have armor.
It's very hard. So it's one thing that, even though he's been a little exhausted back from the...
Looking at 2 gym rats, you can see that. I mean, these are guys who stay...
Oh, and an older fighter with experience, but Shane Mosley isn't beating Collazo with experience. He's just out fighting him.
The experienced fighter should be winning the fight on.
It's one
counter punch again.
And Collazo goes down, and that's a knockdown.
Okay. Right here, you see him landing the right hand as he was coming in. Same as he's been landing all night. And particularly at this time, the legs was crossed up.
Blocked, as he has many times tonight.
I guess he wants to fight at 12.
Just as good as smart for Shane Mosley.
When you're Andy landed there again, a short right hand to the inside.
And you heard what Collazo's corner
said before, but realizing that wasn't going to happen, he still.
But with a month to change his training camp, 35-year-old veteran brought all that to bear and got it.
Tomorrow he'll be snowboarding.
And doing laundry and helping make dinner.
Well, maybe he'll take the 5 kids snowboarding.
Right clear in saying the minute the fight is over, Jim's the boss.
Well, he's fighting a very good fight tonight, considering Collazo and everything. Very good fight. See that? Mix it up.
Left hook.
Yeah. And this is what I consider about a good fighter. Instead of coasting and last one.
And as you said at the beginning of the show, Emmanuel, Shane Mosley never cheated anybody.
No, he's always going to get around and just